This play is a play about a young man from Blackpool who wants to escape the kind of mundanity of it, the prospects of the dead-end job, the job centre, the working men's club, the British Legion, the grey mundanity of Blackpool. He wants to escape. He is a poet. He writes poetry, which is his only form of escape, but he's ashamed of that. So that's something that is he uses for himself as a tool to get, I suppose, to offload how he feels about where he's from. The journey of the play, it follows him. It's very much 95% dialogue is his, Carl, the character. And he runs and runs and runs to get rid of this deep rage that he feels. Without giving too much away, something happened to him as a young man which ripped the heart out of his world and out of his family, and that has a big knock-on in the play. He then joins the army and he finds himself. He finds that he belongs somewhere and he's cared for and he's loved and he's protected, I suppose. Yeah. He's protected, and he enjoys being in that world of those boys with structure and uniformity and all the things that he feels like he was yearning for come true when he joins the army, up until he has to go on tour. And we then deal with the unfortunate and heartbreaking news that he gets post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not a comment on the army, it's not a comment on Blackpool, it's a story about this one boy, and if it resonates with one 15-year-old from Blackpool, and that means that he doesn't, I don't want to get too political about this, but if it means that that boy doesn't go and have to join the army, then I think we've done our job. It's huge in its intensity and its violence and its aggression and its rage, and on the flip side of that, it's joy and its lightness and its tenderness.
You watch the news and Afghanistan started off at the top of the list, and now it's kind of at the end of the list. Someone died today, and there's other stuff that goes on before it, and it's kind of wrong, you know. Yeah, so there's that notion that a war or a campaign has been forgotten, and in that people have been forgotten. And also kind of, it wasn't an accident that I set it where I did in the first half of the play in Blackpool. You know, I'm not saying that Blackpool's been forgotten in any way, but I think coastal towns in this country have been forgotten in a certain sense. So yeah, it gave me that opportunity to kind of write a play. These series of poems gave me an opportunity to write a play about lots of different things. And there is conflict. There's conflict in the play, and there's conflict in Carl, and there's lots of it for lots of different reasons. So yeah, I suppose he can be an outsider or someone who doesn't feel like he fits in, but there's reasons for that. It's not just kind of an outsider. There's kind of, like Nick said, there's events in his life that have either put him on the fringes or he's chosen to be on the fringes. He's observant, and he doesn't want to fit in ways. He doesn't want to be part of this society that he's kind of born into.
Dan Parr, who is playing Carl in Britannia Waves the Rules, is truly an exceptional young actor. It was a very bold decision to go with Dan, and totally the right decision, there's no doubt at all. What Dan gets for nothing is that rawness and that charm, which you don't often see in a space anymore.
It's a protest in as much as a protest song is a protest about injustice and about the way we kind of shouldn't forget anything that we do. We should never forget the things that we commit to as people or as a country or as a voting nation. We can't just ignore the decisions, the big decisions we make, and that is political. That's about politicians.
And I met Dan and went, whoa, hang on, what's this? Then he did the audition, and he'd learnt it for the audition, which I think I even said, didn't I, on the day, I said, that doesn't happen, and that's just incredible that you've done that. He learnt it, he knew what he wanted, he'd mapped out a journey for it. His hunger for the part was truly it was kind of hard to resist, although that's not the only reason I did it. And I think it could be a life changer, this, for that young man. And I've never seen a performance like this, certainly not in the Royal Exchange, for many, 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 many years. You know, with such, the key to him is that he's a lovely, lovely chap. But by God, he can go into some very, very dark places, and that's what we need from this character. And as I say, you know, it's really important that we love him, and we don't, you know, when he's shooting and killing men and going to such graphic places in this play, we still need to love him, and that's a hard quality. These words are weapons, and it demands to be heard by as many people as possible.